Well guys, it's Tim at Force Automotive. I've got a Toyota Tacoma here. I believe it's a 14. Anyway, obviously there was a lot of videos on these four-wheel drive actuators. My front one was fine. Turned out to be the transfer case actuator that has the super long rod from hell that nobody wants to disassemble their transfer case. And I've seen, there's other videos on how to do that and whatnot. So what I did not see in those videos that makes this so much easier to just swap this piece over than pulling this rod out and splitting the transfer case like a dodo. I can't see the guys at the dealership actually doing it. I don't know, maybe they do. But anyway, the real trick, I've seen the guy that says you got to clock it to 3 o'clock and then, be in your two-wheel drive. Okay, so here's the skinny. This rod needs to be all the way in, and then it kind of has like a little bit of detent of where two-wheel drive is. You can spin your front drive shaft, make sure it's disengaged. That's your two-wheel drive. So that's all the way in. The transfer case pulls it out when it goes into 4 low and 4 high. Anyway, so that's all the way in. And yes, this thing will be clocked at 3 o'clock when it's installed properly at all the way in. But let me tell you what the real trick is. You don't even have to worry about that. Okay? This piece of metal is a spring-loaded unit. It's actually the smaller one in front. Rests right here on this tab. Alright? So you can put this in, and it only turns back to the 3 o'clock area. But you're right. See that? It hits the detent right there. It will not turn back. That is two-wheel drive. All these other ways are 4 and 4 low and whatnot. So rod all the way in to the vehicle. This needs to be all the way back till it hits the detent. Again, it's that spring-loaded assembly. The detent is right there. And that hits this piece in the case right here. I bought an aftermarket unit for a couple $100, maybe a little bit more than that, but not much. And I was just trying to save my customer a lot of money by doing this. And so yeah, as it stops right there, you can't turn it back any further. And then where you got your rod and two-wheel drive here. You pop that off, or I already had it off obviously. And then you kind of wiggle your gear in. And you just gently move it around, and you can rotate this. I'll leave the bolts out while I'm doing this because I like to rotate it and have all the flexibility to gently massage that gear into place and get it back on that shaft. The shaft is also keyed. It's got flats, or it has the teeth on it, but there's on my new one there was flat spots. That's interesting. New one had flat spots, not teeth. But anyway, that's the gist of it. Get it up against the flat spot or the spring rest there, and it can't turn any further. And you don't have to wonder if this is 3 o'clock or this is 3 o'clock, or you just hit the dang detent. That's two-wheel drive. Okay, rod all the way in, assemble it, put your little gear on, rotate this around on the rod or whatever you got to do. Have it lubricate your O-ring and install it flush first, and then pop that little gear in there. I'd take mine apart. I just didn't really care to cover all that. But yeah, there's a little gear back there, if you didn't know, under these 3 bolts that you can just pop off and pull the whole thing right off the rod, no problem. Anyway, maybe I can show you my new one. Grab a light here, and it works perfect. Okay. There it is, and it's a whole assembly. Worked just great. It was so nice, just hearing it finally be repaired. And I only charged them $600, parts, labor, installation, and I thought that was pretty fair compared to your $4,000 trip at the dealership. So anyway, questions or comments, I answer them. Okay, force out.